Hey guys! Welcome to my November TBR video. First of all, before I go into the books I'm going to read, I want to thank you, all you guys who watched the live show that I was part of last night with the BookTube Reading Buddies group. It was so much fun to be part of. Now that October is finished, I am a bit sad. I really enjoyed reading all these horror, scary reads. But I did at some point feel like I would like to kind of do a little bit of switch the genre. First of all, for reading in November, there is a November read-along that's happening here on BookTube, going on with the hashtag ReadKidsLit. This is started by Leslie at WordsofaReader, who is going to read only kids literature through the whole of November, and invited people to take part and read kids literature books and talk about them. I'm not going to read only kids literature for a whole month. I am picking 2 books for this read-along. The first of those books is Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, and the second one is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I haven't read either of these books before, and these are the first books that I bought in English. I bought them when I was 11, when I went on my first trip to the UK, and I bought them from Waterstones. They were, I think, my first purchase from Waterstones ever, and I got so excited to read them and practice my English, but I didn't. I think they were a bit over my level of English right then. I'd only done English for like 3 years, and I got a bit ambitious, but they were too much. And once I got older, I started reading more adult fiction, and I didn't go back to them. But this project is a good opportunity to read them, and I'm sure that I'm going to read them really fast. They have big font, they have nice illustrations, and I'm sure they're going to be a lot of fun. Next up on my list is a book that I just got when I went to England now, and actually just borrowed, and that is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time by Mark Haddon. I am super excited for this book. This is about a child who has Asperger's syndrome, and it's written through his perspective. There's a lot of like doodles in the bowl, a lot of drawings, and a lot of smiley faces and sad faces. I think it's going to be very interesting. As I've said in my haul when I mentioned this book, I worked with children that have autism and Asperger's, and I'm very interested in reading books like this. The next book I'm going to read is a book that I've had for a few months and I'm super excited to read, and that's a book by Alicia Fox, and it's The 40 Rules of Love. And I have this copy in Romanian, so I'm going to read it in Romanian, but this is the English cover. It's about a miserable housewife in Boston who is very bored with her life, has no real satisfaction. For the first time in many years, she gets a job at a publisher's house, and there she discovers she has to write a paper about famous Persian poet Rumi. She discovers this great love story, and she gets really immersed into it. I know that out of all of Alicia Fox books, this is probably the one that's most known worldwide. I did this tag a while ago, and one of the questions was a very embarrassing cover. And speaking of embarrassing cover, I don't know how I was able to forget about the cover of the Romanian edition for The 40 Rules of Love, which is this one. And all I can say is that I'm probably not going to be reading this book in public. Also, another book that I have for a few months that I mentioned on this channel, I think like 3 times already, saying how excited I am to read it, but I haven't actually read it, is Salvation of a Saint by Keiko Higashino. This is a mystery novel that's part of the Galileo detective series in Japan. I really want to read it this month because I've mentioned how much I'm excited to read it, and I really am. Lastly, I am still debating with myself whether or not I should join the read-along for East of Eden by John Steinbeck that is happening on the BookTube Reading Buddies group. Definitely one of the books that I want to read and I'm planning to read sometime in the future, and it's that big, 600-700 pages, that reading it as a read-along with people would definitely help me read it faster. But I don't have a copy of it, and I'm still debating with myself whether or not I want to go and purchase a copy or not, and not read it. and read it some other time. So this is it for my November TBR. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're participating in the Read Kids Lit project and what you're planning to read for that. Let me know if you've read any of these books or planning to read any of these books anytime soon, or if you're interested in them. And I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!